thank you for the invitation to rainy Debrecen. People who understand English, please raise your hands. Great. Down, up, down. People who do not understand any English, please raise your hands. This was English, so everybody understands. Okay, great. Hello, my name is Roni Porat. In the last about 25 years, I used to travel the world, go up on stages, turn my back on people, and move my hands in various strange ways. Now, sometimes I arrive on a stage where there are no musicians like this one, and since I love so much this magical moment when you take a very cheap wooden stick in your hands and you start moving your hands and music starts. This is magic. I never miss an opportunity to do it. There is no orchestra here. You're going to be my orchestra. Let's tune first. This is La. Yeah, okay. Wait. No, you were okay. The word was right. It was the right word. How about the tone? Again. La. Wait, there is a conductor here. La. Pretty good. Half of you, La, half of you, Do. Let's try the Do. Yeah, the word again is right. Do. La. Do. Perfect. No, don't laugh. Very nice. I heard a lot about the musicality of the Hungarians. Now we are going to converse a little bit. I'm going to play a little melody, and you're going to follow me with what comes up after this melody. It's a new melody by Ludwig van Beethoven. It goes like this. Okay. And now you. Okay, you have it. We can start. Thank you very much. The relationship between an orchestra as an organization and a conductor as a leader is a very interesting subject to learn from. And you can find very, very good, excellent TED Talks referring to this. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about us, human beings, as conductors of our inner orchestra. And now each and every one of us has here in his head a kind of orchestra which is playing never-ending symphonies of thoughts. Your orchestra used to play from your childhood in Hungarian, mine in Hebrew, and now our orchestra is playing in English. Now, while we assume that we are the composers, we have to ask this question: are we also the conductors of our inner orchestra? Now, talking about conducting our inner orchestra, conducting our mind, is in fact talking about personal leadership. And this is what I want to talk about today. Personal leadership is how do we manage, how do we lead the only one person whom we will ever be able to influence in life, really to influence. The only one person, listen carefully, who guaranteed to stay with us until our last day on earth, whether you like it or not. The person most important to develop as a partner for us, the one who is sitting right now in your chair, you yourself. And when we talk about personal leadership, we better understand one thing, that we are all living in two worlds, not one. And I will use now the excellent explanation of John Kehoe, who is a master for mind's power and inspiring me very much. We are all living in two worlds, not one. One world is the world of circumstances and situation, the outer world, the physical world. In this world, we have this red carpet, my dress, your glasses, these walls. And this world is just the same for all of us. The other world is the inner world, the world of our consciousness, thoughts, imagination, feelings. And this world is very, very great and complicated. Now we are living in both worlds simultaneously, and they are connected and disconnected at the same time. Let's experience this. The situation right now in this auditorium is that there are like 200 people sitting on red seats. There are walls, light. Someone is drawing something on a wall. So draw. And another person is standing on a stage doing this with his hands and talking into a microphone. This is in general the situation in the outer world. Now, in the inner world, some of you are not here now. And they return right now. Why? Because they got a relevant call from the outer world. Something has changed, and they are back here. These two worlds are separated and connected at the same time. Maybe they were, I don't know, drinking coffee after. Maybe they were in love, in a love story, in an argument. That's it. Now, if we go back to John Kehoe, he's also telling us that all the time things are happening in the outer world and we react in the inner world. Now let's have a little scenario and you can see yourself in this story. Let's say that you wake up in the morning on your way to the most important meeting of your life that you have prepared for 3 months. And you dress very well with your new suit. And you sit by the table and you made sure that you wake up before the family. You sit by the table to picture the meeting in your mind the way you want it. And you have your coffee, the only one coffee that only you know how to make. And right before you taste the coffee, a door opens and your youngest son comes from the door and, "Hey, Daddy, good morning, let's have a happy hug." He gives you a happy hug, and the coffee also gives your suit a happy hug. So this is what we call event in the outer world. And now we are left with our reaction to this event. What do we do? How many people here would yell at the child immediately? How many? Raise your hands. Okay, thank you. How many will laugh? Judith, raise your hand. How many would ignore it and just go and change the suit? And maybe some of you will say, "Why did I get married?" Or "Why didn't I take birth control pills on time?" I don't know. Very different reactions to the very same situation in the outer world. And then you go to the meeting, and the meeting went okay, and you go to your office, and then your boss calls you to his room, and all the crew is there, and the boss compliments you and tells you that you are great, and he gives you a raise. You're up, and you're so up that you invite everybody tonight to the bar to drink a beer and unicum. Only in Hungary they laugh here. Okay. And after they drink, you want to pay, and then you discover that someone pickpocketed you. So you are down, and down on the floor you find a piece of paper. And on the paper written down your number, your lottery number, you won the lottery. You're up, life is great, life was never that great. You run home to tell your wife how great life is. She's not at home. There is a note on the table. "I've left on the other side with your best friend." At least she took the annoying boy from the morning. Well, life is like this. Action, reaction, action, reaction, action. We are up and down, up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And as a result, we have no power because we react automatically, almost always. Up and down, and we have no power. We have no liberty. We lose ourselves. Now, John Kehoe says, until you begin to direct and control the inner world, you cannot even hope to control and direct the outer world. Now let's understand what's happened here, what is happening here between the stimulus and our reaction to it. You know, always the stimulus comes before the reaction, right? So there is some space between the stimulus and reaction, but we see our lives like a long line of events and reactions, but between them, there is a space. And here in this space, first of all, comes a thought. And this thought comes as interpretation to the event. And then our feelings come up, emotional. We are emotional, and only then we react. But we may think that we have to react the way we know. You're right. We have our habits of reactions. Guys, in between there in this space, we have a choice. And this is us, the human beings. We are not dogs and we are not elephants. We have a choice and we have to wake up to this because this choice is also our freedom. So, I tell you now a short story about me and my career, an episode from my career, where there was a habit that made me a composer. We can work on our habits. I will refer to it very soon. Back to 1989. I'm a student. I'm starting my last year at the Jerusalem Academy of Music. I'm a student, guitar and conducting student. I am boarding a flight from Tel Aviv to Eilat, the southern city on the Red Sea, to perform as a juggler on the boardwalk. I used to be a juggler, and I think that people have been told before. During the 80s, I used to go to Europe and perform on the streets. Also here in Budapest, you can see some pictures. Here I am in Budapest in this year, 1989. And by the way, 30 years later, I took my family for a tour. We tried also in Hungary, but they kicked us away. So this picture is from Prague. This is me and my family on the street. Back to the flight. I'm meeting there above the Dead Sea a friend who I haven't seen for many years. And he was on the way to the same gig to perform as an old lady gypsy fortune teller, something like this. And we were talking, and he asked me what I'm doing, and I told him what I told you, that I started my last year at the Jerusalem Academy, guitarist and conducting student. And then he looks at me and said, you know, I've been looking for you. I've just got a great opportunity, he said. Yeah, a great opportunity to direct a performance for the next Israel Festival, a performance with music and theater and dance. And we've been looking for a composer. I'm not a composer. I'm a conductor and the guitarist, not a composer. Would you like to compose for us? Now, how many people here would immediately say yes? Please raise your hands. Wow, great. Yes, that's a possibility. How many people are realistic would say no? First be a composer and then say no. How many people would say, let me think of it? Okay, you have upgraded you also? Okay, and how many people did not say anything yet? Please put up your hands. Thank you very much. We have, you know, we have all kind of reactions. I got to run forward. So maybe I will skip also some things. Anyway, we react differently. Now, it is happening all the time, you know. We receive reactions from people, but we can be responsible only on our reactions. What do you think did I tell my friends? I said yes. And this is the way how I became a composer between Tel Aviv and Eilat on the flight. I didn't even need to think about my yes. I have a habit. I call it say yes just to be on the safe side. And I add to it, why take a risk? What risk? You know what is the risk? Saying yes does not always work. Most of the times it does not work. But it keeps the opportunity open. Saying no always works. You won't do it. You won't do it. So, guys, if you dream big. Go with your values and say yes. I too have a dream. And my dream is to conduct a Japanese orchestra with 10,000 Japanese singing. And every morning I say yes, but no one asked me to do it. So, in the meantime, I practice. Okay? Okay, what happened? We finished? This is the clock? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to conclude. Okay, I have many more things. I'll come again. Okay, something. The last thing. I take 2 more minutes, and I will end with something that may really contribute something to your lives. You know, I'm going to talk now about relationship, a dialogue, and how our habits get in, and what can we do there. You know, most relationships do not look like this. Most of the time, it looks more like this. And at the last few years, it looks more like this. Yeah. Now I want to ask you, you know, we all know our language and we speak perfect our language. But I'm going to talk about the way we use our language. How many people here in this room have ever said, he made me angry? Please raise your hands. Irritetem. Again? She insulted me. The kids drove me crazy. Now listen carefully. When we use the language in this way, we send ourselves a clear message that my situation is in his responsibility. He made me angry. No leadership is. He is the leader of how I feel. This is amazing, but we speak all the time like this. So, from now on, here in Debrecen, we separate the situation from our reaction to the situation. Remember, there is a space there, and we use the language in a different way. From now on in Debrecen, we say, he did this and that, I got angry. She said this and that, I got insulted. The kids messed up the room, I was driven crazy. But when we speak this way, we feel very good. We feel the power. We send ourselves a message that we are responsible to our reaction. And this is about responsibility. And you can look on responsibility also like responsibility. This is the core of responsibility. Thank you very much.